What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Joey Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang, and this was a 12-rounder for the interim WBO Heavyweight World Championship. And this fight was Saturday, April 15th, from the Copper Box Arena in London, England. And this fight was broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or in the ESPN app. And in this fight, Zhilei Zhang upsets Joey Joyce, stopping him in the 6th round. Zhilei Zhang fought a perfect fight in this one. He was the bigger man, weighing in at almost 280 pounds. Joyce weighed in much lower than usual at 255. Zhang's shots were just too powerful for Joyce. And just to break this fight down round by round, leading up to the stoppage, this bout scored 48-47 in favor of Zhilei Zhang. The first round was a pretty big round for Zhang. He landed a big 1-2 at the gate that sort of buckled Joey Joyce back. He was hammering him with big left hands, and even after the first round, you were able to see some damage on the face of Joey Joyce as he started to swell a bit on his right eye. Then in the second round, Joey Joyce was really wobbled. He got hit with a 1-2, got wobbled back, his back got turned, and then for some reason the referee stepped in to break it up, which is just completely crazy because Zhang obviously could have had some success off of wobbling Joyce and possibly going with more combinations. So rounds 1 and 2 were clear rounds for Zhilei Zhang as he was hurting Joey Joyce, and Joey Joyce's eyes started to swell up really bad after that second round. Then in the third round, Zhang started to take it a little bit slower, and Joey Joyce was much more active, and he was starting to press like the normal Joey Joyce we're used to seeing, where he's pressing his opponents. So Joyce definitely won that third round. The fourth round I gave to Zhilei Zhang as well. Zhang, although early Joey Joyce was pressing a bit, Zhang started to land big left hands on Joyce, started to back him up with those short left hands, those uppercuts, those hooks that he's known for. Like when we saw him fight Filip Hrgović, he was throwing those nice short shots on the inside, also throwing those nice push left hands, backing his opponents up, and that's what he was doing in that fourth round. And it was executed perfectly, as after that fourth round, his eyes started to swell up even more, almost shut. And then in round number 5, Zhang had a few nice left hands, but Joyce was primarily more active, so I gave that round to Joyce. But I saw Zhang's game plan at that 5th round. Even though he lost that 5th round, he was trying to conserve his energy because he knew that Joyce's eye was going to get much, much worse. So he was conserving his energy, not really doing much, but landing some of those nice shots in there. And then in the 6th round, in the beginning, I think it was maybe in the, in the beginning of the 6th round, that's when the doctor actually stepped in to look at Joyce's eye. Joyce passed, obviously, the how many fingers test, and when the doctor looked at his eye, and the doctor whispered over to the referee that, obviously we didn't get to hear what the doctor said, but I would imagine it's along the lines of that this fight's almost over, or that he has to defend himself more, or else it's done. And then after a big combination from Zhang in the middle of the 6th round, the doctor stepped in again, told him how many fingers he's holding up, and then the referee looked at him, and then the referee waved it off. And this was a massive win for Zhilei Zhang. He was a pretty decent underdog in this fight. Joey Joyce was the interim champion, the mandatory for the WBO World Championship. This was a big win, big upset win for Zhilei Zhang, and this goes into the question, what is next for him? Zhilei Zhang is coming off of 2 very interesting fights, stopping Joey Joyce, and then before that, getting robbed against Filip Hrgović. Those could have been 2 insanely crazy wins for him if he would have had 2 wins over boxing's top heavyweight prospects. And then even before that, he had some pretty interesting fights. He went life and death with Jerry Forrest. He had some very interesting fights before that. And then here he's beating a fighter that was recognized as top 5 in the world. So this was a massive upset win for him. And being that Joey Joyce was an interim champion and a mandatory challenger for this fight, and then Zhilei Zhang stopped him, I think that we could definitely see a rematch next. So that's definitely an option. What could be next for Zhilei Zhang? It could be a rematch because, the way the fight ended, it ended on a swelling rather than a brutal knockout or something like that. But still, a well-deserved stoppage win for Zhang. He was winning the fight, landing big shots on Joyce. So it was a well-deserved stoppage. But yeah, I mean, we could definitely see a rematch next. But if Zhang doesn't rematch Joyce and is still the mandatory interim champion, then, I mean, who knows? He's next in line for a shot at Alexander Usyk. Or what if Usyk won't be able to defend against Zhang? Maybe the belt could go vacant, and we could possibly see Zhilei Zhang face someone like Frank Sanchez for the vacant title, or someone else who's high ranked in the WBO for the vacant WBO world title. We could possibly see that. I mean, who knows? But the most likely thing that's going to happen next is a rematch between Joyce and Zhang for that interim title and that number one mandatory spot. But as for Joe Joyce, losing here for the first time in his career, I mean, this has to be a tough loss for him. He was a pretty sizable favorite in this fight. He was the mandatory challenger. He really didn't need this fight. I'm going to be honest. He really didn't need to take this fight. He really didn't need to have it happen. But then, I mean, he got pieced up. He was getting hit with big shots, not defending himself properly. I mean, hopefully this fight woke him up and showed him that he needs to get his head out of the center line for his next fights, because he just kept getting hit with those left hands and his eyes swelled up, and obviously he couldn't continue. So for Joyce, obviously, the thing that could happen next is a rematch. But if he doesn't rematch Zhang, I think we're going to see Joyce fight someone within the top 20, top 25 in the heavyweight division, get a solid win, and then build himself back up. But like I said before, most likely it'll be Joyce rematching Zhang for that interim title. So overall, Zhilei Zhang gets the best victory of his career by a mile as he stops Joe Joyce, who was highly regarded as a top 5 heavyweight, stopping him in the 6th round due to a shut right eye on Joyce to become the new interim WBO heavyweight champion of the world. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.